times the subconscious mind expresses itself as a felt sensation. Like, here are some examples that I've heard often or sometimes: tingling, heat, nausea, pressure, sludge or like muddiness, tension, heaviness. People describe the emotional charge that their problem carries in many ways. I would say half of people, or half the people I've worked with, have expressed it through that kind of descriptive sensory language. And so, obviously, as you know, my whole approach is to always listen to the client. So, if that's what their problem is expressing, then obviously I need to be interested and curious about that. So, how do we investigate something like tingling? Yesterday, somebody came in and spoke about the heaviness in their chest, the pressure in their head as well. It's like a fear, is what he said, fear on his chest. And then I did not ask him, hey, you want to get rid of that? Oh, that must suck, let's think of a way to change that. No, that wouldn't work, right? You know that it wouldn't work. Instead, we kept on talking, we kept on looking, we kept on investigating, we kept on checking on it. And as the fear that he was talking about started to transform itself, I think he actually volunteered, or I might have asked, how does it feel now? But I'm pretty sure he volunteered and said, it's moving down. It's moving down. And then I even think he said, maybe I'm going to take a crap, maybe I'm going to SHIT it out. But then that's not what happened. It moved into the legs. It became more spacious. I think he said it dissipated, like dissolved. And by the way, I always talk about these cases anonymously and with permission. So please don't send me a text or a message asking me about that. And then it was gone. What is that? That's how energy moves. That's the movement of the subconscious mind. Somebody else, a Reiki practitioner, might describe that as some kind of energetic movement. I perceive it through the language I know, which is the subconscious language. And so, as we tracked the fear and as we tracked the evolution of the feeling itself reciprocated with a movement through the body. Are the body and the mind different? I don't think so. They were just both expressions of the same thing. There is no both. They were the same thing. Now we're into that whole idea that everything is one thing. But from our 3D perspective, we could say, okay, I perceived it as the body doing this and the mind and the soul doing this. So that's what I perceived, if I'm going to speak in those terms, is I perceive the body, mind, and soul working in tandem to move through a certain kind of patterning or belief system. And the persistent examination and tracking and tracing of it is precisely what allows the trance experience to unfold without forcing. Some people would say, okay, take it out, manipulate it, throw it from side to side, move it. But that's then telling the person how to feel about it. Instead of that, there's a different way to do it, which is the way I'm teaching in my course and the way I practice in my office, which is the method of allowing the client to walk me through the hypnotic experience on their terms, almost to the degree that the exchange becomes a conversation without two people, although there are two people talking. But let's not get into the metaphysics of it. The point of this video is to say there is a very interesting expression of the subconscious through the so-called physical membrane or the physical vessel. And a way that we can work with it is what's called the emotional trance method, which is to follow the sensation along with the feeling that motivates the sensation until something occurs. And that's, of course, something that I teach in the course, in my 101 course. So if you have any questions, of course, as usual, let me know. This is Mama Soul Doc, Maya Alapin in Montreal, Quebec. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.